Hi class, it's Mr. Cardinal with my third attempt of trying to videotape this. I was running into some issues, so I apologize for those of you that went on and checked the video right away after school. It is up and running now, and we are going to be taking a look at section 3 of chapter 8, multiplying fractions. You know already how to add and subtract fractions, so this is just an extension of those lessons. And this is simply review from previous years in school. Now, our book talks 3 different ways of multiplying fractions, and one of those ways is by modeling. And I'm just going to share with you a couple examples of modeling. Let's use a real-world example, and let's say you make a sandwich. And you divide your sandwich in half, and you eat half of your sandwich. So I'm shading the half that you have. You give 1/2 before eating this half. You take that 1/2. You are going to give half of your half to a friend. So right here, I'm dividing your sandwich in half. And now you give it to a friend. So essentially, the problem is 1/2 of 1/2. And if you take a look at the sandwich, the shaded part in orange is the part that you gave to your friend, and you will notice that it is 1/4 of your sandwich. Another example of modeling would be if we have another sandwich, and you have 3/4 of the sandwich. So 3/4 of the sandwich is yours. You eat 1/3 of your sandwich. Now remember, what is in yellow is your sandwich that you have. So if you eat 3/4 of it, or I'm sorry, 1/3 of it, I'm shading in 1/3, that is how much of the sandwich you have. So again, 1/3 times 3/4, and you can see you have 3/12, which is equal to 1/4. Now, I'm not a big fan of the models. I like the old-fashioned letter B, multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then simplify. So I'm going to give you some examples of letter B. First one, if we have, and again, look at the models up here, up above. You can see we have 1/3 times 3/4. So I'm just going to do 1/3 times 3/4 down here. If I multiply my numerators straight across, I have 1 times 3 equals 3, 3 times 4 equals 12, and then simplify that, I have 1/4. Another example would be having 2/3, and I am multiplying that by 4/8. Multiply my numerators together, 2 times 4 equals 8, 3 times 8 is 24. Simplify my 8/24, and I am left with 1/3. Let's do a little bit larger problem. We have 10/12, and we are multiplying that by 3/5. Numerators together would be 30. Denominators together is 60. 30/60ths is 1/2. The last problem, let's do 1/2 times 3/7. 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 7 is 14. It's already in simplest form. Now, to make it even a little bit simpler, you can simplify before multiplying. And that brings us to the last way to multiply two fractions. So we're going to take the one up above. We have 10/12, and we're going to multiply it by 3/5. In order to simplify before multiplying, you do a diagonal or crisscross here. So 10 and 5, and you look for a common factor between the two. 5 is a common factor in both 5 and 10. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. To the other side, 3 and 12, 3 is a common factor. 3 goes into 3 once, and 12 4 times. Now multiply straight across. 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times 1 is 4. 2/4 simplified is 1/2. I guess a good way to think of it is if you have your multiplication sign right here, just extend those lines so that you remember that those are the ways to simplify. Well, notice obviously we can't simplify 5/9. You can't simplify 3/5, but we certainly can simplify 3/9 and 5 and 5. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. 5s, they cancel each other out. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 5 once. Multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. So it's less simplifying later on, and it will make the problem a little bit easier to multiply if you simplify prior. Okay, 2/9 times 72. Let's say it's a whole number. We know that underneath 72, the denominator is 1. For all whole numbers, the denominator is 1. 2 and 1 is already simplified. 9 and 72. 9 goes into 9 once. 9 goes into 72 8 times. Multiply straight across. 2 times 8 equals 16. 1 times 1 is 1. Correct answer then is 16. And finally, the last problem. Let's say we have a whole number of 18 and we are multiplying it by 7/12. Again, 12 and 18 can be simplified. 6 goes into 12 2 times. 6 goes into 18 3 times. 3 times 7 equals 21. 1 times 2 equals 2. Now 21/2 is not simplified. It is an improper fraction. We always need to make it into a mixed number if that is the case. So 2 goes into 21 10 times. 2 times 10 is 20. You have 1 left over. That becomes your numerator. Denominator stays the same. So the answer is 10 and 1/2. If you are confused or having problems with multiplying fractions, please bring your questions to class on Monday. Have a great weekend.